Hi students, I thought I'd put together a little video to show you the ins and outs of StatCrunch to deal with assignment 2. I'm going to go under my data and I'm going to pick the mass data file that I've saved on my computer, and there we have it. We talked on our last Zoom meeting about regression. We're going to go under Stat, Regression, Simple Linear. And for our X variable, we're going to pick median family income. And for our Y variable, SAT reading. And we are going to fit the line and save both the residuals and the student standardized residuals in Compute. So what I would do is I would highlight this regression equation and paste it into my document. I would highlight the correlation, coefficient, and the R squared and paste it into my document. And then I would go to the next page and I would do a screen capture of this scatter graph with the fitted line superimposed. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of scoot this off to the side. Now, we have both residuals and student standardized residuals. I'm going to ask you on your assignment to look at the student standardized residuals, and what I would like you to do is I would like you to sort the table ascending based on the student standardized residuals. So now if we take a peek at the student standardized residuals, we see that there is a residual that is below -3. So I'm going to select that particular community, and then I'm going to scoot down to see if there's any above +3. And I want to make sure I'm really seeing all of this table. And there are actually 2 that are above +3. So I'm going to highlight both of those. And to do that, I'm going to have to get over here and, let's see, go down a little bit further and highlight those cities and towns. Go down a little further, and I'm going to get back over here and highlight the last 2. Now I can see them on my scatter graph. There are the communities. On the high side, there's Hatfield and Northampton, and on the low side, if I get way back up here, on the low side is Randolph. Now I'm going to take a moment to go to a Word document. So here's our answers to some of the questions that are going to come up on your assignment. You're going to be asked, what is the regression equation? And you've copied and pasted that. You're going to be asked what the slope is. That's the coefficient of x. And you're going to be asked to interpret it. Now, since median family income is our x variable and it's measured in dollars, I decided to scale that up to $10,000, which is a more reasonable increment of salary. So that means moving the decimal point, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So if I move it over 4 places, I've switched to not changes per dollar, but changes per $10,000. So in plain English, reading from the top to the bottom, this is change in Y over change in X. An increase in a community's median family income of $10,000 has the expected gain in percent, this is our Y variable, and the percent points on the average SAT of 12.6 points. Dollars, points on SAT. This is not cause and effect. It's just a statement about how things are. That is, these two variables are associated. There are undoubtedly other variables that are correlated with SAT scores other than median family income. You'll be asked for R squared. R squared is 0.71. What does that mean? It means that the X variable, median family income, explains 71.3% of the variability in the Y variable, which is average SAT reading score. We picked up on the communities that had standardized residuals either below -3 or above +3. The first two are above +3. The last one is below -3. So in English, what this is saying, and I've jotted down not the standardized residual, but the residual itself. Hatfield's average SAT reading score was 77.1 points higher than communities with the same median family income. Okay, and that is ballpark $80,800. Northampton's is also doing very well in terms of the SAT reading scores. Their scores were 79.1 points higher than communities that had that same median family income, which was about $78,000. Randolph, on the other hand, is not doing that well. It is 77.9 points lower than communities with the same median family income, which is about $77,700. And as you can see, Randolph's SAT reading score was quite low. Then what I did is I went along and I deleted these three communities to see what would happen to the correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient was 0.84. Let's see what happens when I delete those communities. So I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to X out of this. Okay, so I want to go into Edit on the StatCrunch menu, and then I want to go to Rows, and I have the 3 rows highlighted. I want to delete them. Delete the 3 rows. Yes, compute. Let's do the analysis again. Stat, regression, simple linear, median family income, SAT reading. We could pull up the residuals and the standardized residuals again and compute. So of course we have a slightly different equation, and look what happened. R went up and R squared went up. R went up to 0.886 and R squared went up from 71, I believe, to 75, with those 3 outliers deleted. I hope this helps.